Greetings one and all, and welcome back to the Awaken to Ascend YouTube channel. We're back at it. It's just another rainy day. I forgot how wet the Bay Area can be. It's weird to have winter showers. It's such a weird concept. You know, winter is time for snow. Anyway, we're not talking about weather. Today we're talking about tarot. I have been reading tarot for nearly 10 years. It feels crazy to even say that. A decade? It doesn't seem like it. It really doesn't seem like a decade. Has it really been? Wow. But yeah, I got into tarot very shortly after my awakening. And I didn't know much about it. In fact, I knew nothing about it. And I wanted to learn about it through doing it. So I spent a considerable amount of time, I would say, researching it and learning about it and looking at decks. And for me, that was one of the coolest parts about the whole experience, was going through all the decks in existence and seeing which one I liked. There are maybe 10,000, maybe 20,000 tarot decks in existence. Add Oracle decks and Lenormand and Kipper to the mix, and you got a lot of options, okay? And what I recommend for people, what I recommend for myself, is to choose your first deck, if you are in fact interested in tarot, is to choose your first deck intuitively. Because I went on a real strange tarot journey, my friends. So basically what I did is I scoured the internet for the deck that really resonated with me. And what I came up with was Druidcraft. This is one of those decks where as soon as I saw the imagery, I was like, yep, that's my deck. That's the one I want. I don't know, something about Will Worthington's art just speaks to me in a way that no other deck does. No other deck. The Druidcraft. And I've trimmed it. Usually they're like a lot larger. They're like this big. These are like oversized cards. So I had to trim it to make it more manageable. And then I edged it brown to make it match the back somewhat, at least. Okay. But yeah, I got this deck and I started learning tarot with this deck. And I really fell in love. I thought it was an amazing way to connect with your intuition. But it was really, the rain's coming down now, but it was really interesting that after I got Druidcraft, I started saying, you know, what else is out there? There's got to be more decks that resonate better with me, decks that are more in alignment with me. So I spent the next 10 years buying deck after deck after deck after deck after deck, never once coming close to replicating the energy and the beauty of this deck. I was searching for years for nothing. I already had it. Let that be a lesson to you folks. If your intuition says yes, that's a yes for the rest of your life. That's a yes, I think. So I'm just searching for the perfect deck and I got it in my hands. What is wrong with me? But you know, that's human nature. So I've never found a deck that beats this one. Not that you can rank them, but it's more like, which speaks to me in a better way, right? Your first instinct is the right instinct. So as far as reading tarot, of course I started off how everyone starts off. They start the book meanings and they read the book. There's no singular book, but there's a Rider-Waite-Smith kind of, what is the word? System? Is a system of reading the cards. And so basically how it works is that each card has some, like, we call it the book meaning. And these are kind of like keywords that you could kind of tap into and kind of go off of. So let's just pull one randomly. Here we got, let's go, just do it randomly. All right, we got the Queen of Wands. This is a feminine energy, though not necessarily a female, who is a lot of energy, a lot of fire, a lot of pizzazz, a lot of spark. She likes to get things done. And she likes to exude her authority, right? And so that's kind of the archetype of the Queen of Wands. And a lot of people, especially ones who are just starting on the tarot journey, will pull this card and say, well, you know, there's a female energy coming in. She's very authoritarian. You know, she knows what she wants. And I find that that is a decent way to read tarot. It'll get you some answers. But to me, that is a very surface, base level way of doing it. When you do it that way, And you can also read reversals upside down. But when you do it that way, you get kind of, in my opinion, you get kind of bland, dry readings. Like, oh, wealth is coming in 2 to 7 weeks, and it's going to be brought in by some, Knight of Pentacles. It's just like, okay. And I did that. I did that for a while as I was learning to read tarot. That's just how you kind of learn. But eventually, hopefully, you learn that this is a medium for psychic intuition. And so the way I read tarot took a big shift. It's like, no longer do I care about the book meanings. I threw away all my old journals. It's like, oh, 3 of Pentacles means this. Because, I was journaling and writing down what everything meant. So I threw those away. Not literally, but I never looked at them again. And I realized that these little pieces of paper have no power whatsoever. It's just art on a piece of paper. The power in these cards is their ability to spark your higher self, to spark your intuition. They are literal permission slips to allow your ego mind to connect with its soul, with your own soul. And so I started reading these cards psychically. And so what that means is, here's the Tower. Usually the Tower means great change, great upheaval. Things are moving and reorganizing and falling into place in a different way. That's the book meaning of the Tower card, right? But if I were to say, let's ask let's just give an example. If I were to ask the tarot, what food should I eat for dinner? Okay, I could go into this Tower card and connect with my intuition, and what would I say? Something new, something different, something that we haven't had in a while, something that'll shake things up. But then, so that's kind of like using the book meaning and the psychic ability, but then I go into it. We haven't had anything with potatoes in a long time. I love potatoes, and it just feels like a potato day. How did I get to potatoes from this? Right? No book in the world says the Tower means eat potatoes, okay? The way I did it, and the way that I generally read tarot, is that I'll ask a question. I'll shuffle the cards as I'm keeping a question in mind, right? I'll pull that card. And what I will do is I will use this card as a permission slip to communicate with my higher self. The way I communicate with my higher self is through conversation. I can just speak to my higher self, and it speaks back to me in words in my third eye. So what I'll do is I'll connect with this lady here, and I'll have a conversation with her. I'll say, let's have a more tangible thing. Okay, how about this? How can we bring more people to this community? I'll do a real reading, and that way I stop using hypotheticals. Okay, how can we bring more people to this community so we have more people to interact with, more people to learn from, more people to teach? All right, we got the 8 of Pentacles. Let me go into this one. All right, so what this guy just told me is that this conversational style that we're having right now, this back and forth where I just speak to you, is fine. Some people like it. You might like it since you're here. But there needs to be more variety on this channel. Maybe we can sit down and pull cards. Maybe we can do some channeling. Maybe we can do a lecture. So this channel is very young. This is just the start of it. I'm just feeling it out. And I'm willing to do all those things. But for right now, it's just a back and forth conversation between you and I. But yeah, in the future, I think we could do more readings. We can do more meditations. We can do more psychic stuff. But right now, I'm just trying to spark conversation. So yeah, you wouldn't ever get that message from the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles means put in work. I guess that is kind of what it means. But when you use your psychic ability, you get a deeper message. You get a message that's coming not from somebody's ego, because someone long ago said the 8 of Pentacles means put in work. They wrote that down and that became gospel. But that has nothing to do with your higher self. That has nothing to do with your psychic ability. This is to draw out your psychic ability. So I see a lot of, especially on Instagram, I see a lot of tarot readers be like this. This is what they do. They throw a card somewhere. Oh, it means struggle. It's like they didn't even go into the card. They just threw the card out. Then they said, okay, this is what's happening. It's like if your tarot reader is doing that, how are they possibly connecting with their... Oh, I just lost the card here. Oh no, it's in the water. Hold on, folks. Jeez, this deck has been through the ringer. How are they possibly connecting with their intuition? If a tarot reader pulls a card and starts talking immediately, you know they're full of shit. Okay, that's how you know. You need to connect with your higher self. That's just my opinion. Maybe some people are so psychic that they just get instant hits. I've never felt that to be true. But yeah, I think to sum it all up, people who use tarot with the book meanings, who read tarot with book meanings, are reading tarot. It is a way to do it. It's just a very surface level, book level kind of simple kind of way of doing it. I encourage you, if you do read tarot, if you're interested in reading tarot, to just really have some confidence in yourself. Step out of your ego and say, you know what, I do have a psychic ability. It may not be like this guy's. You know, I may not talk to a card like a crazy person, but maybe if I really study this and work hard at it and practice it, maybe it will spark my intuition and my psychic abilities, my claircognizance, my clairaudience, my clairsentience, whatever your clair is. And just have confidence in yourself and know that you do have psychic abilities. You can get messages from your intuition. Tarot can help. It's just one of the ways. There's a lot of different ways that you could do it, but it's just one, just a fun one. The art is so cool. I love the art. It's like, here's the bottom line. I don't need these cards, right? I'm just talking to my higher self. I don't need cards to do that. But they make it fun. It does make it a little bit easier, right? It gives the ego something to bite down on. It's like I'm not just communicating with light energy. It's like there's some middleman here. But I think it's fun. I don't need them. You don't need them. No one needs them. And everyone can just talk to their higher self. But they're fun. They're artistic. And you could collect them all like Pokemon if you want to go broke, because there are tens of thousands of them. But that's just my opinion on tarot. I will be reading more tarot cards in this channel moving forward. It's fun. It's part of who I am. So I think that's it. I would love to hear your comments in the comment section. If you are a tarot reader, what do you think? I'm sure you're going to have some argument to what I've said. Okay, this is just my thoughts and opinions. I'm sorry. But that's going to do it. Be sure to check out the website, awakentoascend.com, and like, share, subscribe, and notify. Yes, that's the thing. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.